Hello, this is Betty of Betty's Odd Treasures. And today I thought I would share with you a painting idea I learned a while back. It is called screen painting. It seems that in Baltimore, Maryland, back in the days they couldn't really afford shades or curtains, and people would paint their screens. And when they would paint the screens, they could see out, but nobody could see in. So that really fascinated me. So I want to show you how to paint a screen today. Now, the supplies that I have, of course, is a little screen. You can use old screens, or you can go to the hardware store and get new screens. And to get started, I kind of thought, well, I'm going to paint a beach scene because I really like the beach scene, and it's kind of neat if somebody was to peek in your back door and see a beach scene. Now, these also can be used as framed and up on the wall. I've done a couple of them, and my sister puts the black felt behind them and she hangs them on her wall, and they look very nice. And she says everyone comments on them wanting to know, how did you get them painted on screen? So what I'm going to do is show you that here I've got just a piece of chalk. I went across the top because, you know, water's supposed to be level, so you ought to try to keep it as level as you can. You can even use a ruler if you wanted to, but I was just kind of eyeballing it across there. And then I thought, well, my beach, I'll leave about like this down here. But that doesn't mean that my beach will be like that, because, you know, chalk, you can wipe it right off and we can paint whatever we want to paint. Okay, so now let me show you the paints that I'll be using today. I'll be using titanium white, and this one over here is the Ultramarine Blue. This is a Payne's gray, and this is a cadmium orange light. It really doesn't matter what brand of acrylic you use, just use acrylic. Now I'm ready to get started. The first thing I have to do is paint the screen all white so that we'll be able to see it. The brushes I use, you need a stiff brush, because that way the stiff brush, your good brushes, you'll wear them down real quick because the screen is rough on them. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to put the white all over the screen. See how those little squares fill up? Sometimes you need to pull it up away from the background, because when you have it up against the background, that allows the paint a surface to stick to, and you don't really want that. So we're going to do this all over the screen. It'll take a little while, but not long. And then this will be the bases that we need for our sky and some water. I think I need a little bit more water in my paint just to make it thinner. Now see how that goes, but you can brush that out as you go. Isn't it neat how you can see it through there? Okay, we'll go back over this, and that takes out those. Now, if those little screen holes get clogged up, you can use either a straight pin or a toothpick to unclog them. But most of the time, your brush, when you go back and forth, it'll take care of it. See how they're disappearing? Yeah, that's a good thing. Okay, so if you just go back and forth over top of those, they should go away. And they are. See, the little brush bristles are getting in there and taking them away. Did you see how that worked? They tell you to mask tape the sides if you don't want them, if you want them to be paint-free, but I figured we could work on that. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to get some blue and start my sky. I put a little bit of water in the blue and a little bit of the Payne's gray, because that'll make it a little darker up here in the sky. And you just go back and forth like we did with the white. little later we'll be adding in some clouds, which will be all white. But you kind of want to get some of this blue up in here. See, when you lay it back, you can see what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting until you lay it back onto the dark surface behind you. More blue. Maybe a little bit darker blue this time. Now you can see that pretty good. I love to paint. You see, that's starting to form us some sky up there. And I'm just going to come on down with that because that water is going to be about the same color, except maybe a little darker. That's about where my water's going to go in. See how easy that was? That is really hard on your brushes though, so you should have a good, not use your good brushes, use something that's good and stiff. Leave some little spaces like this, and then we can create some little light shades in there and make it look like waves coming in. I'll try some of that white now. See if we can't get a little bit going here. Go right back up into where my sky is. When you first start painting, you think, oh, this is a mess. This is not going to work. But the more you paint, the better you get. And then not only that, it seems like the next coats is what really finish it off. Okay, so I need some more white up here for some clouds. And the clouds you can do kind of like our good old Bob Ross did. You just make little circular motions and pull them out. You can see how that's doing if you want to lay it back for a little bit to see how the clouds is coming in. And we're going to make some over here, but we don't want them to be the same because when you look out at the sky, there's no two clouds the same. So I'm going to go back to my blue, and here comes some more blue. You can't make mistakes because the waters all have different colors in them and different shades, so you just keep on going with what you're doing. That was a little bit of the plain Payne's gray that I stuck in there to just give us a little line. Okay. Let's see, up here we need a little bit of clouds up in here maybe. Just a little dab. Just a little dab makes all the difference in the world. It's amazing that I want to have like a sun maybe shining through there. Okay, we're doing pretty good. A little bit more water. Let's try a little bit of this lighter blue where the white has gotten into my blue. That ought to make a pretty little texture here too. Those little blocks, little stiff brush helps to get them out, and you hold it up from the back surface so that you don't get any, they don't block up on you. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now we're going to have to mix up some colors for my sand. All right, let's mix up more colors, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. Now we're going to mix up some new colors for the beach, and the new ones that I have added since we went on a little break is Cadmium Yellow. This is Yellow Ochre, and this is called Hooker's Green. I was going to show you how I mix them. You just want to take just a little bit like this and a little bit of this, because sometimes these colors really do mix up and go a long way. We have all of these colors listed for you in the description box below. Now I'm getting ready to do some of the beach, so I mixed a little bit of the yellow ochre in with the yellow, and I'm going to reach over here and get just a little bit of this Payne's gray because you need to get a contrast going with your beach. That turned pretty green. Maybe that was too much. Well, we'll put some more yellow in it then. Oh, now I got really a pretty yellowish color. Okay, I think I can work with that though. So I'll put that, oh, this is a palette knife, by the way. I didn't even tell you that. And it's good for mixing your colors together and not getting it all through your brush, because you don't want all of the colors in your brush. Now I'm rinsing out my brush, and you should rinse it out between your colors. Take it over to a paper towel and squeeze it to get all of those other colors out, but it won't hurt if you have a few in there. Okay, so now I'm going to go into this brown that it's yellow ochre. It looks kind of like a brown. And we're going to put that on the bottom of our screen. Okay, now I'm going to start on my beach. And put some of that on there. And the beach, sometimes you'll have a lot of pink coming from the sky, but that's good. We want it to have kind of a pinkish tone anyway, because we want it to have nice bright colors. I'm going to get a little bit of my white and come in here. So I'm going to end up putting some green on it because I want to make some little grassy knoll type of thing. That's always nice on the beach. Now see how that was getting clogged up down there? If I just take it back off of that. You don't want to lean it up against. You just lean it up against enough to see what you are doing. I want a little lighter going out here because our water is going to be coming in right here. Okay, and let's go right up in here because I'm going to have a sun coming down and helping out with this beach. So we'll just make us some little white lines coming down through here and right to the beach. So maybe that sun's going to be right up there, up here by this cloud. Now we need to get him some more of a peachy color on one side. And then we'll get some little white and come in there with it. He's a nice sun, isn't he? I might put a little cloud over him so he don't stick out so much. And we probably need some more white up here on these clouds because they're dried now. We get a little bit more white. And the dry brush helps it be able to get them to go in too. That looks awfully dark, but you want it really dark out where, as far as you can see from where the water comes in, because usually you can't even see what's happening out there. It's so dark. And I think I might be able to put a few little waves in. I don't know. We'll have to see. Sometimes they just happen. Okay, now we can put a little white out in here. Like some little waves are coming in. That's a pretty big wave, isn't it? Okay, well, I'll just take it and snip it down like this with some blue and see what happens. And on top of this one, you just put a little bit of white, and it will look like little foams coming in. Maybe I need a smaller brush for that. Okay, we took a little break and now we're back. Let's see. We'll put a little bit more of a cloud up in here. Seems like we need something in here a little bit more. Make it look like the sun's coming down through all of these. go to the ocean, a lot of times you see these low-hanging clouds out on the ocean. I keep going back and putting a little bit more white on top because I want to make sure that we can see this good. Okay, now let's get into some blue and see if we can't darken some of this up a little bit. And it looks like we might need a little wave or something coming in here, and we just have to do a little end of your brush and just kind of do it over. It makes it look like a little wave. Makes it easy way to do a wave, really. As long as you keep it going in the same direction. These was little ones over here because they were far back. Then right down here on the shore where you're going to have the water coming in, make a little puddle here where it comes in. Let's get just a little bit more blue and make it look like there's some little waves coming right in there too. And those I did a little circular motion on because I just wanted to get the blue on. And now I'm going to do this with the brush. I'm just going to pat and let it come off at the edge of the water like a little puddle. We're getting close to being done. I have some dark green here, and I'm going to put a little bit over here, and then I get some of my yellow and put it in with it, and then that gives me different shades of green, which you need when you're painting any kind of a painting. It's dark and the light, and it makes it stand out and makes it really nice. Got the plain green, and I'm going in this corner because this is going to be like a little knoll. You know, when you go to the beach, there's usually a little knoll that you can go and stand up on, or you have to walk over to get down to the beach. Okay, we'll make that like that. And then I'm going to take some more green, and I'm going to make me some sea oats. Don't look like sea oats now, does it? It will when I get finished with them. Maybe. Rinse my brush off and dry it out. I'm going to come into that lighter green now that we made with just some yellow and green. And then if you take your brush, double loaded, then you go out with your, guess I need more than I thought I did. Okay. Okay, now that ought to make it look more like sea oats. Let's see what we can do with that. We can put some of this little pinky back in here. You leave that alone for a little bit. Let's rinse this out. I want to make sure that I have some light coming from the moon. I guess it's probably a moon. It's pretty dark out, so I imagine it's the moon. Now I'm getting a little white and a little bit of the beigey color to make it look like the moon coming through. And the moon would come down and it would come over this way and hit the top of the waves. Then come on over to here and out into here. I want it to come back up here a little bit like that, I think. Okay, before we go, I wanted to share this with you as well. This is one I did some time ago for winter, and I've got the black mounted on the back of it, so I can just put it out anywhere I want, either on the steps or up against the window if I want to, and then I take the black off. But I think it's such a nice winter scene. I'm thinking about making these for winter, spring, summer, and fall. And if you like these, please comment, and maybe I can help you out with trying to paint the screens.